first of all, interesting. I mean, is there anything you haven't done, Anne? Because you've worked as a zookeeper, you've worked in hospitals, you've worked as a counselor, you've done so many things.
I have, yeah.
That's a lot of things covered, yeah.
We counted it up. I did a CV. The thing is, I can't sit in with just one job. This is the thing. And me and my daughter were sitting there. I think I've done 22 different jobs. Yeah, terrible. And I've always been really good at them. And I've always got to the top, like into management. But I need stimulation. I need more than what that job's giving me. And so now doing this, like now, yeah, I'm a psychic medium, a therapist. I run the global retreats around the world, the spiritual empowerment workshops. I do weekend retreats. I do one-day workshops in London. Been a little bit screwed this year, though. You know, what with lockdown, it's been a bit difficult doing the global retreat, but it's okay. So I do. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, next year will be
New Year. So that's it. So, you know, I do that. I make sure that I spend that time, that I'm actually now taking the time to, gosh, you would not believe this. My phone's going off and I put it on silent and no notifications. I mean, when spirit wants to get through.
I was just thinking that spirit's calling.
and seriously, I mean, if I could show the screen, it's on no notifications and flight mode.
Yeah, well, there you go. When they want to get through, they get through. So
exactly. So yeah, there's no job I'm sure there's plenty of jobs I haven't done, but yeah. So as but that helps me then when I have a client that different walks of life. I've lived some of those lives. Degree.
No, yes, totally, because then so many more people can relate to you and to how you communicate to them. So I think that's a really amazing way to do it. But yeah, quickly I wanted to go to your second near-death experience. You don't have to go into detail into it, but at this point, were you already working with the psychic mediumship, or by then were you? Because I think
I wasn't. You know, getting knocked down by a van is not enough for me, you see. So I decided, but I still didn't know that this was what I meant to do. I was thinking, what am I meant to do with my life? What job am I supposed to do? I was in all the other jobs and terribly unhappy. Didn't feel fulfilled, and literally, and I was diagnosed with having asthma, and I remember very clearly the day this happened, my lung collapsed. And of course, I wasn't sure if I believed in angels. Of course, be careful, because I didn't know. And I remember sitting there and I couldn't breathe, and there was lots of issues with my medication. Nothing was working. And literally that day it happened. I reached out and I said, oh my God, I need help. Is there anyone there to help me? Thinking my nan might pop through. And then I mean, but geez, it was scary. It was literally like a heavy statue that thump down by the side of me. And I was so scared to turn around to look. And I remember just sort of thinking, I'm absolutely going crazy. This is the moment I'm going crazy, because I can see an angel that's kneeling down before me and it looks like a stone statue. And it's not fluffy in how we imagine it. It was pretty scary. I mean, literally when the angel, I don't want to say it, but when the angel stood up, I mean, literally we're talking, I don't know, 20, 30 felt as if his presence was very big. That's how it felt. But, you know, who knows? But that experience was scary. And then from that day on, I never looked back, and I was like, okay, guys, I believe you exist, because after that scary moment and through my lung collapsing and then being by my side, I was then diagnosed with a lifelong condition that I have, not just asthma. And then, you know, consultants labeling what it is, and that you're not going to be able to do anything. You have to stay at home on the oxygen cylinder. And I'm like, no, life's too short. Sorry, I'm going to get on. So, I decided that is not going to limit me, that I will still continue to do what I need to do. And, you know, I take medication and I'm fine.
That's the spirit. Yeah.
It's going to get me.
I often find with just that diagnosis of, like, the doctor's diagnosis of telling you, you know, you're always going to have to, that in itself is so damaging. And when people give their power away to that, it's just, I mean, that could kill you. That could, just believing in that can kill you.
Because your mind, as we said about Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Limpton, and those are the ones I trained with as well. Your mind, what you tell yourself, your mind, if you think of every thought that you have, you'll create a chemical within your body. And that chemical, you know, if we're excited, we produce the adrenaline and everything something else, because that's to physically get your body to move. Now, if you're, like, as I said, I had postnatal depression and I had post-traumatic stress and I had depression. Again, my body was producing all these chemicals. So every thought, once you're told, I was waking up, I suffered with agoraphobia for 2 years. I didn't leave my house, thinking my lung was going to collapse again. So I spent another 2 years living in my house where I was too scared to walk to the end of the road. And luckily, I was then sent to a lung physio. She taught me how to breathe again properly. And then I realized that I was waking up every day thinking to myself, oh, I have this condition. I didn't see me as me anymore. I wasn't Anne. I just saw me as this condition. And so I was like, oh my God. And then, having the lung physio, having the right medication, reading, going on YouTube, listening to stuff like this, finding out about Dr. Bruce Lipton and Dr. Spencer and all the others out there about the rewiring the brain, it changed my life. And that's why now when I have clients, I've learned all that, and that's what I do with my clients, to help them to reprogram in old negative self-limiting beliefs. And you're right, if you're told something, go and investigate yourself. Not everybody's an expert. I'm not an expert. Everyone, you need to go look for yourself, find out the information.
Yes, totally. And yeah, you're such a good example of how, your belief in yourself and that you can get over it, you can get past it, actually works. Yeah,
it does.
Right. Wow. I know we've had quite a session here. But kind of just to finish off, there's just a few things in terms of, I want to touch back on this whole, logic versus feeling. And do you kind of from before everything you went through and afterwards and now doing the work, do you see these two working together? And how do you use your mind and your logic with your feelings now as opposed to before?
Right, okay. So it's a balance. I'm not an expert. I've gone through all that, but it's still a balance of logically thinking things through. Look, if I know I want to run a retreat next year, that's not going to magically happen. I know that I get a nudge from spirit saying, like this Monday coming, I'm doing something this Monday. And I got a nudge from spirit to say, you need to do this. And I'm like, then Anne, as a human being, has to use a logical mind in thinking, how am I going to do this? I'll put this together. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, me personally, I work hand in hand with spirit and my logical mind. That's my balance, and if I need any help or assistance, I'm like, guys, what do you think? And I check in with them as well. But I try to stay out the logical mind as much as I can, because you miss the magic then, because then you start doubting and you're like, oh, is that meant to happen? You start, am I capable of really doing that? They think that you are, they'll tell you that you are, they'll help you. Yeah.
Well, that's a brilliant way of doing it. Yeah, I totally think there should be a good balance, because obviously we have the brain for a reason, and we're still physical. So
we've got to use the brain every so often.
Yes, totally. And now, where do you kind of see your work going? Do you see yourself doing more retreats? Kind of allowing more people to know about the afterlife, and the fact that our loved ones are still there and they help us constantly from the other side?
So it's funny, my work is changing. It has been changing since lockdown. I've been doing trance work now as well. So that's a whole different dimension. And tuning into another radio station and picking up information from there. I'm more happy to sort of share my work now and to get it more out there and for people to be more aware of it. Sometimes there was the part of me was a bit worried about the stigma and people saying, oh, she's crazy, whatever. That's out the window now. I'm 52. I'm like, I don't care. And, you have to think what you have to think. You personally, I'm not saying to anyone, you have to believe in this. It's down to them as an individual. I think what I've really been told by spirit is that it's really to get that work out there, and for those who want to know information, they'll find the right teacher, they'll find the right person that will come to them. And so really it's about, by doing stuff like this, is to really put it out there now so people are aware. And if they need any advice or help, or I wouldn't say advice, but if they want anything or assistance, then they can find the right people. I think that's really, you need to have those, those colleges, those institutes, those places, those people to go to. And that's what I want to do. And I want to write a book as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Everything, darling, everything I want.
Yeah, you cover it all.
Life is limitless. While we're here, you have to embrace it and just go for anything you want. And if it's meant to be, it's going to be. They'll help you. They'll guide you to the right people. And that is a belief that I really firmly believe in. And that's up to the individual as well.
Yeah. Oh wow, amazing. And last question, how on a daily basis, what do you do to kind of make sure that you're grounded and that you're kept aligned?
Good question. Look, listen, I'm not a Tibetan monk, so I can't lie. I would love to say every single day I meditate. I really would love to meditate. And I do meditate in a sense, but my meditations, they might be 5-10 minutes long, sometimes 20 minutes, and I've done like an hour or so as well. So what I do is when I tend to get up, I try to focus my mind and just try to sort of be in my body first before I start thinking about those things that you have to do in your daily life. I'm not going to lie and say I'm wholly spiritual, because I'm not. I'm a human being like everyone else. But during the day, I catch myself and I make sure that I must ground myself. And for me, nature's important. I go out and I go for a walk. I really ground myself. And so if I feel, and a little tip, that if anyone's really feeling like overwhelmed, go walk in nature, go see, go feel, be that sunflower, be the solar panel. When the sun's out, if you want to, go and sit in the sun, make the most of nature, because that's what nature is here for. It's to help balance us out. That's what I would say. And that's what I do.
Totally, that's such a good advice. And I hear that over and over again from people who are in this work. I think nature is just like the best cure for that. But yeah. And thank you so much for your time and sharing this space with me. It's been so incredible speaking to you. And again, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know for a fact so many people will find this so helpful. And yeah, really, really.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed sharing this time with you, and hopefully anything will help people.
Definitely. And guys, just to let you know, if you do want to get in touch with Anne or find out more about her services or any of her group sessions that she does with her students, you can visit her site, which is www.annebayford.com, and again, that will be in the description below, and you can find her on Instagram, which is ANNE.Bayford, and also her Facebook page, which is Like-Minded Souls, where I think you do your trance sessions on there, don't you?
I put some of my trance stuff on there, and I've just started to run a YouTube channel as well, so it'll be on there shortly.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'll add that to the description again.
Thank you.
And guys, on the comments, people are saying thank you so much. I think people don't have questions yet. I think they're still kind of processing everything that was being said, because we covered a lot. But we will be doing another session in the new year, so make sure you guys check back about that. We'll be, I think this time maybe we'll do a few readings or something with that. Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. But yeah, thank you so much again, Anne. And guys, make sure you share this video with anyone who you think might contribute from this helpful information. Just share it, like it, subscribe, and also make sure you check out Anne's channel as well, where she'll be posting amazing videos, I'm sure. So we'll be following up on that. Okay,